So one of my buddies who does CrossFit in a different part of the country sent me a text with a link for some WODs for a local throwdown that was coming up in, I think it's middle of January, he said it is. So he sent it out to me and asked me to take a look at him and give me his thoughts. And my first impression was, who the hell is this programmed for? Some of the things were pretty ridiculous that they were asking them to do. Just the weights that were used for the number of repetitions prescribed, the type of skills that were being asked, some pretty difficult gymnastics and barbell movements that I didn't figure that most people who are CrossFitting and even competitive at the local level could actually pull through. So I figured, just by looking at it, that this was another case of a gym confusing their local homegrown competition with the CrossFit Games and trying to find the fittest of the fit and the best of the best out of a pool of people that really aren't capable of doing some of these movements, and even worse, having open admission, meaning that anybody who's just wanting to try out their first CrossFit competition or really doesn't have a sense for what they're able to do and not do could sign up for and either have a bad experience, and that does not help grow the sport, or potentially injure themselves by trying to do a little bit more than their body's capable of handling. So I sent him, asked him a little bit of clarification, and really it was a text that would just kind of angrily ask, who is this programmed for? And then he goes, oh, well, this is one of the bigger competitions of the year in this area. It's invitation only. Pretty much everybody who goes there is regionals or near regionals level. And that made a lot more sense to me. They can vet who their audience is. They know who's coming up. They've invited them all themselves, so they know that there's a little bit of a bar to entry and that everybody there is going to be capable of doing what they prescribed. So that's a pretty big difference doing it that way than just any schmo can sign up, whether or not they've done CrossFit or not, or whether or not they've actually even done a clean and jerk before for this competition. So I think that makes a little bit better sense. You know, you see some of these bigger competitions outside of the games, outside of regionals, like I know Summer Crush Game, Lollapalooza, OC Throwdown, all these invitationals that are throughout the country, Outlaw Open being another good example. And those competitions can get away with programming a lot more than the average local throwdown can do. So, for example, when we program Rumble by the River or one of our gym competitions, we could never program 225-pound clean and jerks for reps. That's not a bad movement. It's not a bad test of fitness. It's not unsafe inherently. But without any bar to entry, you're just going to wind up having a bunch of people who have that as their PR, a little above their PR, their near PR, coming out there and doing whatever it takes to get as many reps as possible. When Greg Glassman said men will die for points, he wasn't just talking about, that's a little drive to make people push harder. Literally, people will do stupid things that could almost get them killed or actually hurt themselves pretty badly just to get some points on a board. So when you're programming for your local competitions or when you're looking at signing up for one, it's really important to make sure that what's being asked of you for the division is something you're capable of doing. And if it's an unknown and unknowable type deal, then execute a little bit of common sense, and it's better to walk away abstaining from doing a stupid WOD than it is to walk away in a sling or ride away in an ambulance.